Today, I want you to pause for a moment and look at yourself honestly. Imagine that every morning, when you wake up, you realize that your body no longer responds the way it used to. Those erections that once came easily are now absent, and every intimate encounter becomes a quiet reminder that something has changed. It's not just a physical issue, it's a direct hit to your self-esteem, to the connection with your partner, and to that sense of vitality you always thought was unshakable. Millions of men feel the same way, but very few dare to admit it. Now think about this. What if I told you that there are concrete, simple, and scientifically supported ways to reverse this pattern and regain the confidence you thought was lost? This video is not a cold lecture or an advertisement for magical solutions. It's an honest invitation to understand why these changes happen and to explore concrete steps, simple, accessible, and backed by science, that can restore confidence and intimacy. I'll talk about real processes in the body, changes in blood vessels, hormones, cell mitochondria, and the acid-base balance that determines how everything functions. But I also want you to grasp the human weight behind these terms, the silent frustration in the shower, the distance that grows in bed, the laughter that becomes awkward. I'm going to share real stories with you and explain, step by step and with simple examples, why a small daily gesture, like a morning ritual, can trigger a cascading improvement. I don't promise immediate miracles, but I do offer a clear path based on biochemistry and clinical experiences, a path that restores circulation, energy, and desire, and brings back the feeling that your body is responding to you. Stay with me. In the next few minutes, we'll debunk myths, you'll learn 10 concrete benefits, and you'll receive a practical protocol that many older men have tried, improving both their intimate lives and their self-esteem. After the age of 60, the male body undergoes profound changes that are rarely explained clearly. Many men believe it all comes down to a drop in testosterone, but the reality is far more complex. It's as if the internal engine, which had run with precision for decades, now requires finer and more consistent maintenance. The good news is that these changes are not the end of the road, but signals your body sends asking for attention, adjustments, and new habits. As the years pass, the vascular system begins to lose some of its elasticity. Arteries that once expanded easily with every heartbeat become stiffer. This hardening reduces blood flow, and when blood no longer circulates with the same force, the tissues that depend on it, including those of the penis, receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients. It's like a highway that used to be free now filling up with potholes and detours. Circulation no longer flows at the same speed, and this directly affects sexual vitality. In addition, the endothelium, the microscopic layer that lines the inside of blood vessels, loses some of its ability to produce nitric oxide, the molecule that tells arteries when to relax to allow an adequate flow of blood. Without that signal, the erectile response weakens. At the same time, the body's acid-base balance shifts. The body tends toward a slight metabolic acidosis, promoted by a diet high in processed foods, chronic stress, a sedentary lifestyle, and reduced kidney function. This silent acidity affects every cell, lowering efficiency and altering hormonal communication. Chronic low-grade inflammation also plays a role, an invisible but constant process that slowly damages the vessels and nerves responsible for arousal. Many men describe this stage as a loss of spark, a feeling that the body no longer responds as quickly. But behind that perception are precise physiological causes, not just psychological ones. Reduced testosterone production and lower sensitivity of hormonal receptors complete the picture, creating a cycle where reduced circulation, inflammation, and hormonal imbalance feed each other. Understanding all this is essential before seeking solutions. Because when you realize that your difficulty is not a personal failure, but a natural consequence of biochemical and vascular processes, you can act with intelligence and hope. And this is where a simple, inexpensive, and surprisingly effective ally comes into play: baking soda, a humble substance with enormous potential to rebalance these systems and restore your body's internal harmony. Baking soda, that white powder many people keep in the pantry without imagining its power, can become a true ally for internal balance. It's not a magical solution or an empty promise, but a simple tool that acts on one of the most overlooked foundations of health, the body's pH. Every cell, every enzyme, and every biochemical reaction inside you depends on a very precise range of acidity and alkalinity. When that balance is disrupted, the whole system suffers. What's fascinating about baking soda is its ability to restore that natural balance. When taken in small, controlled amounts, it helps neutralize the excess acidity caused by the modern diet, stress, and aging. Its role is similar to that of a silent mediator that calms the internal environment, allowing cells to breathe and organs to work with less effort. From a physiological perspective, this pH correction directly impacts vascular health, hormonal efficiency, and nerve communication, the three pillars of healthy and vigorous sexual function. Before we continue, I'd love to know something to connect with our community. Which city or country are you watching from? Write it in the comments. I love getting to know people who truly care about their health, and it helps me create content that is more useful and relevant for you and your region. Let's get to the point. Imagine your body as an orchestra. If a single instrument is out of tune, the melody becomes confusing, but if all instruments regain their tone, the music flows with strength. Baking soda does not cause erections nor replace hormones, but it creates the ideal environment for your body to produce its own responses naturally. In older men, this effect can feel like a reactivation of vital energy, improved circulation, a clearer mind, lighter digestion, and, gradually, a recovery of desire. Over the years, I've seen how small biochemical adjustments can lead to big transformations. That's why it's so important to understand that the body does not age completely overnight. Rather, it gradually loses its internal balance. By helping to restore that balance, baking soda acts as a reminder of what your physiology is capable of when conditions are right. In the next sections, you'll discover how this simple mineral influences concrete and measurable processes, from circulation to cellular energy, and how it can become a powerful ally for your well-being and intimate life. Benefit 1. Balancing pH and improving overall circulation. Maintaining an optimal blood pH is much more than just a chemical detail. It is the foundation upon which the body's vitality rests. Ideally, blood has a slightly alkaline pH of around 7.4. As we age, the modern diet heavy in processed foods, constant exposure to stress, and reduced kidney efficiency push the body toward a mild but persistent acidity, known as metabolic acidosis. This imbalance, though silent, affects every blood vessel and every cell, directly impacting the ability to achieve and maintain an erection. When blood becomes slightly more acidic, red blood cells lose flexibility and circulation becomes less efficient, especially in the smaller vessels that supply erectile tissue. It's like trying to make a muddy river flow through a narrow channel. The water struggles to move, the flow slows, and essential nutrients don't reach their destination. By taking baking soda, pH begins to gradually correct itself, and the blood regains its natural fluidity. Each red blood cell can once again deform and move without obstruction, delivering oxygen and vital nutrients to every corner of the body. To illustrate, let's think of Mark, a 67-year-old man who described his erections as drops of water that don't fill the glass. After incorporating a small dose of baking soda into his daily routine, he noticed his overall energy increasing and morning rigidity slowly returning. It wasn't magic. It was science in action, improving circulation from within. This first benefit is reflected not only in sexual function, but throughout the body: better brain oxygenation, less fatigue, and faster recovery after physical activity. In addition, balancing pH has a motivating psychological effect. Seeing the body respond again reinforces confidence, reduces performance anxiety, and generates a sense of control many men thought was lost. It's a simple yet powerful first step that sets the stage for later benefits, like optimizing oxygen delivery and protecting blood vessels, creating a chain reaction that can transform overall vitality and intimate life. Benefit 2. Improving oxygen delivery to erectile tissue and optimizing hemoglobin. The firmness of an erection depends not only on the amount of blood reaching the penis, but also on the quality of that blood and its ability to release oxygen where it's needed most. Hemoglobin, the protein inside red blood cells that carries oxygen, plays a crucial role. In a slightly acidic environment, hemoglobin becomes sticky with its oxygen load, making it harder for oxygen to reach the tissues. It's like delivery trucks arriving at a construction site with their cargo tied up, unable to unload fully. By regulating pH with baking soda, the environment becomes more alkaline and hemoglobin releases oxygen efficiently. Every red blood cell reaching the erectile tissue can deliver its full oxygen load, revitalizing smooth muscle cells and allowing maximum blood flow. This not only improves firmness, but also strengthens tissues, increases energy production, and prepares the body to maintain a sustained response. To visualize this, consider Samuel, a 70-year-old man who described feeling a kind of drag instead of a full response during arousal. After a month of incorporating baking soda into his morning routine, he began noticing gradual changes: faster and firmer erections, a sense of fullness, and increased confidence during intimacy. Each improvement motivated him to maintain additional healthy habits, like daily walks and stress management. This benefit also has a significant psychological impact. Knowing the body can deliver oxygen effectively reduces performance anxiety and strengthens self-esteem. It also enhances general endurance, muscle recovery, and mental clarity. This is a perfect example of how a simple biochemical adjustment can trigger a chain of tangible benefits in daily life, both in sexual function and overall vitality. Benefit 3. Reducing vascular inflammation. Silent inflammation is one of the most persistent enemies of sexual and cardiovascular health. Over time, blood vessels can become irritated and damaged, promoting stiffening and narrowing of the arteries, a process known as atherosclerosis. This condition affects not only circulation to the penis, but also daily energy, blood pressure, and muscle recovery. Imagine your arteries as pipes. If debris builds up and inflammation occurs, water flows with difficulty and the whole system is compromised. Baking soda, by helping balance pH and reduce internal acidity, acts as a regulator that soothes inflammation. Studies suggest that this acid-base adjustment decreases the production of inflammatory cytokines, relieving blood vessels from constant stress. This allows them to remain flexible, clean, and able to expand properly, supporting efficient blood flow to all tissues, including erectile tissue. For illustration, let's consider David, 71 years old, who suffered from mild hypertension and described his morning erections as nearly non-existent. After a month following a simple baking soda protocol, he noticed not only a slight improvement in blood pressure, but also the return of spontaneous morning erections, something he hadn't experienced in years. This change restored his confidence and reduced anxiety in his relationship, showing that managing inflammation has a direct and tangible impact on intimate life. Furthermore, reducing inflammation triggers a chain of benefits. A less irritated endothelium produces more nitric oxide, vessels become more responsive, and blood flow improves even further. It's a domino effect combining physical and psychological well-being, reinforcing a sense of control over one's health and motivating the adoption of healthy habits, from nutrition to physical activity and stress management. Benefit 4. Supporting natural nitric oxide production and protecting the endothelium. Nitric oxide is the key molecule for erection, the signal that tells the smooth muscles in penile arteries to relax and allow the blood flow necessary for a full response. With age, an acidic environment and chronic inflammation damage the endothelium, the inner layer of blood vessels, reducing its ability to produce this essential gas. It's like a traffic light system malfunctioning. The blood doesn't get the signal to flow, and the erectile process is compromised. Baking soda helps create a more alkaline, less inflamed internal environment, protecting the endothelium and promoting efficient nitric oxide production. This doesn't mean that baking soda contains nitric oxide. It prepares the ideal conditions for your body to produce it naturally and abundantly. Every blood vessel functions better Every smooth muscle relaxes more easily, and blood flow reaches its full potential, resulting in firmer and longer-lasting erections. To put it in perspective, let's consider James, a 68-year-old man who felt frustrated because, even though his hormone levels were relatively normal, his response was limited. After incorporating a morning baking soda protocol with lemon water, he began noticing gradual changes. Erections became more consistent, the sense of fullness and firmness increased, and confidence in intimacy returned. This example shows that protecting the endothelium and supporting nitric oxide production has a direct, measurable, and very positive effect on sexual life. Moreover, improving blood flow has an impact beyond intimacy. Greater tissue oxygenation, better muscle recovery, and a general sense of vitality are additional benefits that reinforce motivation to maintain healthy habits. The combination of pH balance, reduced inflammation, and endothelial protection creates an environment in which the entire vascular system can function optimally, generating a chain reaction that revitalizes energy, desire, and confidence in one's physical capabilities. Benefit 5. Detoxification of the liver and kidneys and its connection to hormonal balance. The liver and kidneys are the body's main filters, responsible for processing toxins and metabolic byproducts. As we age, the load on these organs increases, especially if the diet includes processed foods, excess sugars, or saturated fats, and if stress and lack of sleep impair their function. Many of these byproducts are acidic, and when they accumulate, they not only overload the organs, but also interfere with hormone production and regulation, including testosterone and its balance with estrogen. Baking soda acts as an indirect support for these organs, neutralizing some of the acidity and facilitating its elimination through urine. This effect helps the liver metabolize hormones more efficiently and assists the kidneys in maintaining a healthy internal balance. It's like cleaning a clogged filter. When organs work with less burden and no obstacles, the entire circulatory and hormonal system functions better, and the body responds with more energy and vitality. To illustrate, let's think of Henry, a 72-year-old man who constantly felt tired and noticed changes in his libido. Even though he maintained moderate physical activity and followed a reasonable diet, fatigue and lack of desire persisted. After incorporating a daily dose of baking soda in warm water with lemon, he noticed his overall energy improving, digestion becoming easier, and gradually, his sexual interest and capacity returning. This change was not instantaneous, but sustained, reflecting how a detoxified and balanced organ system positively affects the entire male physiology. In addition, detoxifying these organs has a positive psychological effect. Knowing the body can eliminate toxins more efficiently increases the sense of control over one's health and strengthens motivation to maintain additional healthy habits, such as proper hydration, balanced nutrition, and restorative sleep. This benefit directly connects with the next ones, like reducing abdominal fat and optimizing hormonal function, creating a virtuous cycle that naturally enhances overall vitality and sexual function. Benefit 6. Reducing sugar cravings and supporting abdominal fat loss. Abdominal fat, especially visceral fat surrounding internal organs, affects not only appearance, but also directly impacts hormonal health and sexual function. This fat produces enzymes like aromatase, which convert testosterone into estrogen, disrupting hormone levels and decreasing libido. Furthermore, visceral fat accumulation promotes chronic inflammation and contributes to metabolic acidosis, creating a vicious cycle that directly affects male vitality. Baking soda, by regulating body pH, can help reduce sugar cravings. A less acidic internal environment decreases the need for quick, acidic fuels like sweets or ultra-processed foods, which often cause energy spikes followed by sharp crashes. This makes it easier for the body to rely on more sustainable energy sources, supporting gradual loss of abdominal fat. For example, Michael, 69, reported constant cravings for bread, pastries, and soda in the afternoon, and his waistline seemed to thicken no matter how much he walked. After a month of incorporating baking soda into his morning routine and maintaining mindful eating habits, he noticed cravings diminished energy stabilized, and abdominal fat gradually began to decrease. With each small achievement, his motivation grew, reinforcing positive lifestyle changes. This reduction in fat not only improves appearance, but also optimizes free testosterone levels, strengthening libido and erectile function. It's a clear example of how a simple biochemical adjustment can trigger a chain of benefits: reduced inflammation, restored hormonal balance, and increased sexual and overall vitality. Additionally, feeling more in control of his body and habits strengthens psychological well-being, creating a motivating effect that encourages long-term healthy changes. Benefit 7. Improving testosterone receptor sensitivity. Having adequate testosterone levels is important, but it is useless if the body's cells cannot hear it properly. With age, testosterone receptors may become less sensitive, similar to having a mobile phone with a weak signal. The message arrives distorted, and cells don't respond as they should. Metabolic acidosis is one factor contributing to this resistance, reducing hormone efficacy and affecting libido and sexual function. By correcting pH with baking soda, the internal environment of the cells improves and the receptors become more responsive. It's like cleaning the cell's ears. What was once a whisper of testosterone becomes a clear and strong message that the cells can receive and act upon. This translates into increased sexual desire, improved physical response, and a restored sense of vitality. To put this into perspective, let's consider Stephen, 70, who had seemingly normal hormone levels, but felt his libido was turned off and his general energy low. After a month of incorporating baking soda into his daily routine, he noticed an increase in sexual desire, a return of energy, and greater confidence in intimacy. Each improvement motivated him to maintain healthier lifestyle habits, like light exercise and stress management. This benefit is crucial because it amplifies the effects of other physiological changes. With more sensitive receptors, any natural increase in testosterone is better utilized, enhancing the results of hormonal balance, abdominal fat reduction, and improved circulation. It's an example of how a simple routine adjustment can have a profound impact, generating a chain reaction that restores both physical vitality and emotional confidence and well-being. Benefit 8. Increasing mitochondrial energy in the smooth muscle cells of the penis. Mitochondria, known as the cell's powerhouses, are essential for the smooth muscle in the penis to relax and allow proper blood filling during arousal. With age, these powerhouses become less efficient and produce less ATP, the molecule that provides energy, which can make it harder to maintain firm and sustained erections. An acidic environment, resulting from a modern diet, chronic stress, and metabolic processes, worsens mitochondrial function. It's like the batteries in a car starting to lose capacity. Even though the engine runs, it cannot deliver the power needed for optimal performance. Baking soda, by correcting pH, creates a favorable alkaline environment, allowing mitochondria to operate at maximum efficiency, generating more energy available for the smooth muscle of the penis. To illustrate, let's consider Raphael, a 69-year-old man who noticed his erections were less firm, and he fatigued quickly during sexual activity. After several weeks of incorporating baking soda into his morning routine, he began to feel a noticeable difference: faster, firmer, and longer-lasting erections, along with an overall sense of energy and vitality in his daily life. This change gave him confidence and motivation to maintain additional healthy habits, such as daily walks and stress management. Moreover, this increase in mitochondrial energy has an indirect effect on the endurance and recovery of erectile tissue. More energetic cells recover better after each sexual encounter, allowing for more frequent and satisfying experiences. It's a clear example of how a simple biochemical adjustment can amplify the body's natural capacity, generating a chain reaction that strengthens both sexual function and overall vitality, combining physiological and psychological benefits in a tangible way. Benefit 9. Calming the nervous system and balancing the sympathetic-parasympathetic response. Anxiety, stress, and constant tension are powerful enemies of erectile function. The sympathetic nervous system, known as the fight or flight system, prioritizes blood flow to the brain and muscles, temporarily shutting down areas considered non-essential, like the penis. To achieve an erection, the parasympathetic system, responsible for rest and relaxation, must dominate, allowing blood to flood the corpora cavernosa. Chronic stress and a slightly acidic body keep the sympathetic system overactive, like a traffic light stuck on red, blocking the circulation needed for sexual response. Baking soda, by helping to reduce overall acidity, has an indirect calming effect on the nervous system, promoting a better balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic activity. This allows the sexual response to activate more easily, reducing performance anxiety and increasing the sense of control. For example, let's consider Fernando, a 68-year-old man who described episodes of blockage during intimacy due to accumulated work stress. After incorporating a daily routine of baking soda in water with lemon, he noticed his body tension decreased, erections became more spontaneous, and anxiety related to sexual performance reduced significantly. This change allowed him to enjoy intimacy more calmly and reconnect emotionally with his partner. This benefit also has a chain effect on overall vitality. A more balanced nervous system improves sleep, concentration, digestion, and recovery after physical exertion. It's a clear example of how a simple biochemical adjustment can influence multiple body systems, generating a holistic effect that combines physical, sexual, and emotional well-being, reinforcing confidence and motivation to maintain long-term healthy habits. Benefit 10. Enhancement with lemon or apple cider vinegar and synergistic effects. Although it may seem contradictory, both lemon and apple cider vinegar, despite tasting acidic, have an alkalizing effect once metabolized by the body. Combining them with baking soda not only makes the mixture more pleasant to taste, but also creates an effervescent reaction that can facilitate absorption and assimilation. Additionally, lemon provides vitamin C and bioflavonoids, powerful antioxidants that further protect the vascular endothelium and support nitric oxide production. To visualize, imagine your body as a garden and your blood vessels as the roots. Baking soda regulates soil pH, lemon provides antioxidant nutrients, and vinegar helps maintain a balanced environment. The combination allows blood flow to grow strong and healthy, supporting both sexual and overall vitality. This synergistic effect amplifies all the benefits we have mentioned: improved circulation, optimal oxygenation, reduced inflammation, nitric oxide production, and elevated cellular energy. For example, Richard, 74, incorporated this morning protocol of baking soda with the juice of half a lemon and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. After a month, he noticed not only a remarkable improvement in his erections, but also increased daytime energy, greater mental clarity, and motivation to engage in light physical activity and relaxation exercises. His self-confidence strengthened and performance anxiety decreased significantly. The protocol is simple and should be followed consistently. Dissolve between 1/4 and half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of warm water. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon or a teaspoon of organic apple cider vinegar, and drink it on an empty stomach each morning, waiting at least 20 minutes before breakfast. This small daily ritual acts as a catalyst, creating an ideal internal environment that optimizes sexual function, hormonal balance, and overall vitality, demonstrating how a simple routine adjustment can have a profound and lasting impact. Additional benefit: mitochondrial protection and reduction of oxidative stress in erectile tissue. Each cell in the corpora cavernosa of the penis contains thousands of mitochondria, which produce the energy needed for the tissue to fill with blood and maintain a firm erection. With age, these mitochondria become less efficient and generate more reactive oxygen species, RS, molecules that damage membranes, proteins, and even cellular DNA. This phenomenon, known as oxidative stress, contributes significantly to erectile dysfunction. Baking soda helps create a slightly alkaline internal environment, allowing mitochondria to function more cleanly and efficiently. It's like cleaning the engine of an old car. When the parts work without residue, energy flows properly and performance improves. By reducing ROS, cellular integrity is protected and energy production is optimized, resulting in firmer erections, faster recovery, and the ability to have multiple sexual encounters. For example, Claude, 72, noticed that after several weeks of taking baking soda each morning, his erections became more consistent, the feeling of fullness increased, and post-activity fatigue decreased. This tangible effect reinforces confidence and motivation to maintain the habit, demonstrating that small biochemical interventions can generate deep and sustainable changes. Additional benefit: gut connection and sexual health. It may come as a surprise, but your gut microbiome, the collection of bacteria and microorganisms living in your intestines, plays a crucial role in regulating inflammation, producing neurotransmitters, and ultimately supporting sexual function. An acidic gut environment favors the growth of harmful bacteria and fungi like Candida, while hindering beneficial bacteria. These harmful bacteria produce toxins called endotoxins, which, when they enter the bloodstream, generate systemic inflammation and directly affect the vascular endothelium, reducing nitric oxide production and compromising erections. Baking soda, when taken on an empty stomach, temporarily neutralizes acidity in the upper gastrointestinal tract, creating a more favorable environment for beneficial bacteria and preventing bacterial translocation into the bloodstream. It's like reinforcing the walls of a castle. When defenses are strong, invaders cannot penetrate and the internal system functions more harmoniously. To illustrate, consider Albert, a 70-year-old man suffering from chronic digestive inflammation and general fatigue. After starting a daily baking soda protocol, he noticed improved digestion, reduced bloating, and, surprisingly, faster recovery of energy during the day and an increase in libido. This gut sexual function connection shows that caring for your microbiota not only improves digestion, but also strengthens vascular, hormonal, and sexual health, creating a chain reaction that enhances all the other benefits previously mentioned. Additional benefit: insulin sensitivity and sexual function. Even if you are not diabetic, many people develop some degree of insulin resistance with age, in which cells do not respond properly to this hormone. This creates a vicious cycle. Insulin resistance promotes abdominal fat accumulation, and abdominal fat further worsens insulin sensitivity. This metabolic imbalance directly affects sexual function, damaging the vascular endothelium, reducing nitric oxide production, and impairing mitochondrial efficiency in penile cells. A daily baking soda protocol acts as a natural insulin sensitizer. By improving blood and tissue pH, cells regain their ability to respond properly to insulin, breaking this vicious cycle. It's like unlocking an electrical circuit. When the signal flows correctly, internal systems operate in harmony, allowing the body to use energy efficiently and reduce abdominal fat. For example, Ignacio, 71, had a growing waistline and frequent fatigue, along with a decreased libido. After several weeks of taking baking soda on an empty stomach, combined with balanced eating habits and daily walks, his insulin sensitivity improved, abdominal fat began to decrease gradually, and his energy and sexual desire increased. This comprehensive improvement strengthens not only physical health, but also motivation and personal confidence, showing how a small biochemical change can trigger a positive effect across multiple body systems. Additional benefit: reduction of blood viscosity and optimization of flow. With age, blood tends to thicken and become more prone to clotting, making the rapid and abundant flow required for optimal erections more difficult. Metabolic acidosis worsens this viscosity, limiting efficient blood transport to the corpora cavernosa of the penis. Baking soda, by balancing pH, makes the blood less acidic and more fluid, facilitating the critical blood flow during arousal. It's like changing old, thick engine oil for new, fluid oil. Everything works with less friction and greater efficiency. This improvement in blood fluidity enhances all previous benefits, from tissue oxygenation to testosterone response and mitochondrial energy, creating a synergistic effect that amplifies sexual function and overall vitality. For example, Thomas, 73, noticed that erections were slower and he fatigued easily during intimacy. After a month of following the daily baking soda with lemon protocol while maintaining healthy habits, he experienced more efficient blood flow, faster and firmer erections, and quicker recovery after sexual activity. This change reinforced his confidence and motivation, showing how a simple biochemical adjustment can have a profound impact on male health and quality of life. All the mechanisms we've explained, pH balance, reduced acidity, improved circulation, optimal oxygenation, mitochondrial protection, gut health, insulin sensitivity, and blood viscosity, work together to restore sexual function and overall vitality in men over 60. This is not an isolated effect, but a reconnection of multiple bodily systems that had been functioning suboptimally for years. It's important to understand that results are not immediate. Early benefits such as increased energy, smoother digestion, and a general sense of well-being can be noticed in the first week. Improvements in erectile function typically require 3 to 8 weeks of consistent use. Patience and perseverance are key. Each glass of baking soda water taken on an empty stomach is a small step toward regaining your vitality and confidence. Psychological motivation also plays a crucial role. Feeling that you are taking control of your body and health strengthens self-esteem, reduces performance anxiety, and creates a positive chain reaction on energy, libido, and quality of life. It's an integrated process that combines biochemical adjustments, daily habits, and reinforcement of personal confidence. Important warnings: if you have uncontrolled hypertension, severe heart or kidney problems, or are on a strict low-sodium diet, consult your doctor before implementing this protocol. For most healthy men, baking soda with lemon or apple cider vinegar is safe and well tolerated and represents a simple yet powerful support for balancing your body and optimizing sexual function. Your intimate vitality is a reflection of your internal health. By giving your body this small daily boost, you give it the opportunity to rebalance and function as it was designed. Every improvement, every firmer erection, every moment of renewed energy is proof that it is possible to regain control of your body and enjoy a full and satisfying sex life, even after 60.